Hello, this is Jim Del Rosso again, and I'm here to talk to you about what I covered in What's New in the Medicine Chest Part 1. And I know you're all waiting in anticipation to hear about the content of this presentation. So let's start with molluscum contagiosum, which is obviously a very common problem in children. Many are atopic, but some are not. And we often encounter children that have multiple molluscum, and we see adults too. But in children, it becomes difficult because they have multiple lesions, and many of the treatments can be uncomfortable or painful for the patients. So molluscum contagiosum, it's been shown in a study out of the UK, persists for 18 months in 30% of the patients, and then about 40% will transfer to other children in the household. This is an important thing to translate to the parents when they hear that these lesions will go away, because many of them take a long time to go away. So there is a new pharmaceutical grade ether-free cantharone, which is also coupled with an application device that is submitted to the FDA for the first approval of cantharone if it does get approved by the FDA. And we're anticipating that it will based on the clinical trials. So I think this will be an important advance. Polypodium leucotomus extract, the branded formulation HelioCare, is the only one that has been studied and shown to consistently have the content of polyphenols and to consistently have the activity profiles based on different assays compared to other formulations that are hit and miss. And so the data that's published out there is consistent just for that particular brand name formulation, which you can also get either with or without niacinamide in the formulation. Actinic keratosis, topical terbinabulin. This is a drug that's been studied in clinical trials to treat actinic keratosis lesions, and it really has two different mechanisms. It has a cellular mechanism which affects lymphocyte infiltration, but also a structural mechanism that has activity against endothelial tubules. So this is a very interesting formulation that thus far is progressing well in clinical trials. So topical crisaborole 2% ointment, which is FDA approved for the treatment of atopic dermatitis, mild to moderate severity, 2 years of age and older. We now have data below the age of 2 in, I believe it was 137 children that show both efficacy and safety with no concerning safety signals. So that's important information. We also have from Emma Gutman out of Mount Sinai, we have biomarker data that actually shows the mechanism of action of this drug as a PDE4 inhibitor, influencing biomarkers that are involved in atopic dermatitis, and also some of the structural changes in cytokine expression. Moving on to topical tapinarof, this is a drug that's under evaluation. It is not yet on the market like crisaborole is, but it's under evaluation for both atopic dermatitis and psoriasis. And it influences aryl hydrocarbon receptors that are found in skin and in peripheral blood cells. So it appears to be a very important mechanism in both those disease states. Use of tapinarof, based on evaluations of the mode of action, have shown that it increases proteins that are important to the stratum corneum and the barrier, like filaggrin, involucrin, and others, and also that it downregulates Th2 cytokines, which are important in atopic dermatitis, and Th17 cytokines that are important in psoriasis and also in atopic dermatitis. So there's a lot going on and a lot to be excited about.